The crystalline throne room of the Volturian flagship stretched impossibly high, its walls shimmering with bioluminescent patterns that pulsed like a living heartbeat. Commander Erling Hayes stood in the center of the vast chamber, his human military uniform torn and scorched from the battle that had brought him here. Around him, hundreds of Volturian warriors stood at attention, their iridescent armor gleaming under the ethereal light, and before him, elevated on a throne carved from a single piece of star crystal, sat Queen Emily Kirshen the Eternal, ruler of the Volturian Empire and terror of 1,000 worlds. She was magnificent and terrifying in equal measure. Her skin shimmered like polished obsidian, marked with silver patterns that denoted her royal lineage. Her eyes, 3 of them, arranged in a triangle on her elegant face, glowed with an inner fire that had witnessed centuries of conquest. Her crown, grown from her own bone structure through years of genetic manipulation, rose like twisted horns of pure ivory. She was easily 8 feet tall, even seated, and radiated an authority that made lesser beings tremble. Human, her voice echoed through the chamber, speaking through a translator that made her words sound like music and thunder combined. You have been brought before me to answer for your crimes against the Volturian Empire. You destroyed 3 of our warships. You led a rebellion on Krithak 7 that cost us that entire mining colony. You have been a thorn in our expansion for 2 years. Erling said nothing. His jaw was set, his blue eyes defiant despite the bruises on his face. The sentence for such crimes is death, Emily continued, leaning forward slightly. But I am told you commanded respect from your soldiers, that you fought with honor, even in defeat. Therefore, I offer you a choice. She gestured with one elegant, 4-fingered hand. Kneel before me now, pledge your loyalty to the Volturian Empire, and you may serve as a commander in our forces. Your tactical mind would be useful. The throne room fell silent. Every warrior present knew this was an extraordinary offer. The queen never showed mercy, never offered second chances. Erling took a step forward, then another. The guards tensed, weapons humming to life, but Emily raised a hand to still them. She watched with curiosity as this small, fragile human approached her throne with steady steps. He stopped at the base of the stairs leading up to her seat of power. And then, instead of kneeling, he looked up at her with something that might have been a smile. I have a counteroffer, he said. The entire room gasped. One of the generals actually hissed in outrage. But Emily leaned back in her throne, her 3 eyes narrowing with interest. You dare negotiate with your queen? She asked, but there was no anger in her voice, only intrigue. I've spent 2 years fighting your empire, Erling said calmly. I've studied your tactics, your culture, your history. I've read every file we could steal about Volturian society. And I've learned one very important thing about you, Queen Emily Kirshen. And what is that? Human. You're bored. Silence. Then, unexpectedly, Emily laughed, a sound like crystal bells chimming. Explain yourself before I have you vaporized for your insolence. Erling gestured around the throne room. You've conquered 50 worlds in 3 centuries. You're functionally immortal. You've never lost a major battle. Everyone kneels before you. Everyone fears you. Everyone obeys you without question. He paused. When was the last time someone challenged you? Really challenged you, not just with weapons, but with words, with ideas? Emily's eyes glowed brighter. Continue. You offered me a position because you found me interesting. But if I kneel, if I pledge loyalty, I become just another servant, just another voice telling you yes. He took a breath. So here's my counteroffer. Don't make me kneel. Make me your equal. Equal? The word rippled through the chamber like a shockwave. Several warriors actually took steps back in horror. Marry me, Erling said simply. For a moment, the queen of the Volturian Empire, ruler of billions, conqueror of stars, simply stared. Then she rose from her throne, descending the stairs with fluid grace until she stood before him. Even standing, she towered over him by nearly 2 feet. You are either the bravest being I've ever encountered, she said softly, or the most foolish. Maybe both, Erling admitted. But think about it. Your empire is vast, but it's stagnant. Your people are powerful, but they're not growing. You need something your civilization has lost. You need chaos, creativity, unpredictability, human qualities, and you believe a marriage alliance would provide this? I believe, Erling said, meeting her gaze unflinchingly. That you've been looking for someone who sees you not as a queen to be feared, but as a person to be known. Someone who'll argue with you, challenge you, maybe even make you laugh. He smiled. I fought your empire because I believed in freedom, but I'm not too proud to recognize when I found something worth more than fighting. Emily circled him slowly, considering. You realize that if I accept this proposal, you would be entering a world of political intrigue that makes your human wars look like children's games, that half my court would try to assassinate you before the week was out. Sounds exciting. She stopped in front of him again, and for the first time in a century, Queen Emily Kirshen the Eternal genuinely smiled. You are absolutely insane, she said. Is that a yes? Emily turned to her court, her voice ringing out with imperial authority. This human has done what no warrior could. He has surprised me. He has made me curious about what tomorrow might bring. She looked back at Erling. I accept your proposal, Commander Hayes. But know this, I will expect you to challenge me every single day. Erling grinned. I wouldn't have it any other way, Your Majesty. As the throne room erupted in shocked murmurs and protests, Emily extended her hand. Erling took it, and together they turned to face the court, a human and an alien queen, beginning the most unexpected alliance in galactic history. Neither knelt. Both stood tall, and somewhere in the cosmos, a new chapter of an ancient empire began to unfold.